So we are live on YouTube.
Good evening, everybody. January 25th, 2022. If I could get a mover and a seconder to approve the agenda, please. Firster. Maggie. Oops, sorry, pen wasn't on. Oops. Maggie. And a seconder. Anyone? Jim?
Oh, there we go.
Okay, and so that the committee approved the agenda of January 25th, 2022 as circulated, all in agreement? Okay. Now to approve the minutes, may I get a mover, please?
Wait.
Hey. And may I have a seconder, please? Anyone? Oh, okay. Crystal, I think you went up first. All right, so Valerie is moving it. Crystal is seconding it, that the committee approved the minutes of November 29th, 2021 as circulated. All in favor? Okay. Alrighty, C, disclosure of interest. Do we have anybody for that? All right. So number 2, business from previous meeting. I'll start off with A, the Rosedale Hall programs update. You know, who had that one? Maggie, please.
Yeah, first of all, let me apologize. I sent the wrong one out to everybody. With our last meeting, we did change February and March. So February was actually going to be the guy from the tax department, and March was going to be a representative from the health department. We had to cancel January because of COVID. They closed everything down again. I'm not sure we can do February yet. I heard Monday they're opening, but it's a limit of 4 people or some silly little amount. So I don't know by the 3rd week in February if it's going to be any bigger than that. I guess we just have to kind of wait and see, go from there. One thing I did want to mention to our representative from council, on the last minutes, we sent the minutes in with a recommendation, a resolution, and we asked them to give us direction as to who was going to book the speakers. And I don't know if that was discussed at council. It didn't come through on the council meeting, just that the whole thing was passed. So I'm not sure who's going to arrange for the actual speakers. Maybe Ian, do you know?
No, it wasn't discussed, Maggie. So I can't speak on the council's behalf, but I would suggest that from my point of view anyway, that I think that the committee can arrange for the speakers, I would think. And put that in our minutes to go to council for approval. If that's okay with you.
The only problem I have with that is if they're going to charge us, do we have approval for to pay these people, and if so, how much?
Well, I think if you're going to charge us something, then we're going to have to find out what that cost is and make sure that's in our meeting minutes. It gets submitted as well, just to make sure. That would be.
Sorry,
Hopefully.
Pre-approved in a couple of months in advance, then more or less. Like we've always got to be way ahead.
Yeah, that's right.
Like my own personal opinion at this present second, I think we should probably really consider skipping February, March, and concentrating on April, and that gives us some time to get some stuff done and to have a chance to talk to some people. And if there are some costs incurred, they can be presented to council and list of people who they are, and then we can send it in and get it all approved. That's my personal opinion.
That works for me. I think February is going to be canceled anyway, because I've heard the shutdown is not going to be up until February 23rd, I believe it was. The 3rd Thursdays before that, so I don't think we're going to be able to do February anyway. And March was the health department. They're probably going to be too busy anyway.
Yeah. Yeah,
So we'll concentrate on April to go with the seedy Saturday, because that was someone from one of the greenhouses on planting in the area, that type of stuff. Okay. So do we have to do another resolution for that then? Oh,
Christy?
Yeah, so I was just going to suggest, same as the letter that you guys did for the, to move the meeting to 7 p.m. Anytime you have an item like that at any point, you can put forward a letter as long as you have it to the clerk by the certain date before the agenda is prepared, and it can always be added to the agenda as an information item for council to pull forward and put it into action.
Okay, that sounds good.
So just keep that in mind when you're looking for, I guess, a more concrete direction, and that way council can pull it forward into action item.
okay.
That was just my suggestion.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
So for now, we'll just basically cancel February and probably cancel March, but we'll see February what happens.
yeah,
Okay, that's all.
Sorry, Ian, go ahead.
yeah. I think we focus on April and the Easter stuff that people have suggested, and the CD Saturday event and everything else. I think that's a great time. That gives us a little bit of an avenue too to make sure we get everything all set up and go from there. I know that, you know, I'm not going to speak on behalf of council or the staff, but I know that you know, Jasmine leaving again, everybody's going to be pretty busy as far as trying to fill the holes and everything. So the more I think the committee can do, the better off it is in trying to get some of these things arranged.
Yeah. Works for me.
Well, yeah, and we want to make the transition as easy as possible for them as well. So, okay. So, was there any more read the Rosedale Hall programs to update with? No. Okay. So, moving to the second, or B, I should say, review.
Brandy?
Yeah. Sorry.
Did you get the resolutions that I sent you for this meeting?
Oh, the MRC received. Oh, sorry. Okay. So if I could have a first and a seconder that the MRCC received the Rosedale Hall programs update for information. Can I get a firster, Maggie? And a seconder? Katie, thank you. So Maggie is a member, seconder by Katie, that the MRCC received the Rosedale Hall programs update for information. And I'll carry. Thanks, Christy. Okay, so B, review of Christmas events. Do I need a mover and a seconder and do it beforehand or at the end? Just to clarify, Chrissy.
You can kind of give the report, and then you can say like this port. Then you would go into moving it and second it.
Okay, so this will be for the MRCC received the review of the Christmas events for information. So B, review of Christmas events. Who would like, Maggie?
I just want to thank everybody for all they did for this. We can't control the weather. I'm sorry Brandy got soaked straight to the skin. I'm sorry Santa had to have a hair dryer when he came in. And I'm really sorry that Smith Falls had their parade the same damn day. But after all that, I think we had a great event. We didn't have the crowd that we wanted because of the rain and the other parade, etc. But I know the ones that were there really enjoyed themselves. Santa had a great time. The kids had a great time. They got lots of pictures. The apple cider turned me back onto apple cider, which I usually hate. And I just wanted to thank everybody for all they did, because it was a lot of work and it went really nice. I don't know if the decorations are been put back upstairs yet, because the hall's not open anyway to go and do anything. And we'll have to get the lights off the tree in March or something. I don't know, when it gets warmer.
Warmer.
We did unplug them though, so they are unplugged. So they're not plugged in.
Yeah, we don't want anybody complaining. Yeah, I want to just polish up on Maggie's there. even though the other parade was happening that evening, the amount of people, like Ian can say for this, like the amount of people that were still at their house, in their window, at the end of their driveway, on their veranda, whether it was one in the window here and, you know, some over here, you know, re-COVID issues and whatnot. I still say we had a fairly good response from it. People yelling out, thank you, you know. It was a hoot, I know, even though we were soaked. We were laughing in the back. Like, you should have heard. I wish we had it all on video because it was definitely worthwhile. It'll give us
Heard
some
it.
laughs and memories like to go forward. I was frozen though, there's no doubt about it.
We sent you umbrellas.
Yeah,
We did send you
we
umbrellas,
had, like,
but you
Mary
probably would have
Poppins,
flown
though,
away.
and like literally like fly off the trailer. So we both just said we're already wet, like, and we just said and just let it pour. Like we were just like, oh well, just let it come. Like, you know, no better person to be on a trailer when stuck out in the rain. It was awesome. I want to thank everybody too that was available, that, you know, definitely put lots of work into, you know, making it possible. And for those that couldn't join us, you know, some had unfortunate circumstances, but thank you anyway for all that you did do behind the scenes. Thank you, thank you. And yeah, it was a success. I'd love to see us do it again and do a third annual next year if we can make that happen.
It was a good time.
It was a good time, Ian.
Yeah, just like everybody else, it was great. It's great to see everybody else. It's great to have a committee that's just involved and really wants to do great things in the community, and that's a big part of it. And thank you all for that. That's for sure. I'd like to also bring something forward. Obviously, next year being the next year, and we don't start now thinking about it, we won't be able to get it done. But I think that we should, in my own personal opinion, ask council for some money for a nativity scene. They can be set up either inside the hall or outside the hall, and we can start building on this every year and take it to the next step, and just make it bigger and better, and do little steps every year, and see how many people we can get out, and see what we can do. Maybe we can hire or we can provide some materials to some of the kids at the high school. They can cut some of them out, some trees and Santa houses and whatever else we might like, and get them to paint them, and be a great little project for somebody, especially when they need to do their community hours.
Hear, hear. And also, I think our reindeers needed some TLC, and I think Santa needed a little bit bigger of a sleigh if possible.
Poor Vince.
Yeah, Santa's growing and the sleigh is too small.
Yeah.
So,
But yeah,
So,
I think that's
so
a
we
great
could-
idea.
yeah, if we could put a motion, if everybody agrees with that, put something to council, get some money set aside, and let's take this thing to the next level, and then we won't have to worry if Smith Falls has a parade on the same night we do. People are going to want to come to Montague instead of Smith Falls.
Yeah, here.
So
Can we do? Go ahead, Jim.
I just had something I was just thinking too. What if we had? I like Ian's idea. It's fantastic because, of course, I love Christmas. But what if we had the same idea and we had some businesses put some decorations out there like they do in the town? You know, or even families. It doesn't have to be a business, but maybe, you know, we could do something like that and just add to it.
Build.
You know, and just even if it only started with 2 or 3 for 1 year, and then, you know, once the thing gets going, it's just like when you do your home decorations, you just keep adding to it.
Yeah.
You know, it's a great spot to go out there and, you know, drive by and see all of it. That's for sure.
Well,
But I think that's excellent what Ian said there.
yeah, and hopefully next year everything will be totally back to normal. So that we can, you know, take it to that majorly next level, and from there, like, because once people, again, everything we've done thus far, you know, COVID has really tried to put a nail in our coffin, and we just keep opening that coffin right back up and saying, nope, it's not happening. We're making this hall fly. And kudos to us all for making it happen, because, you know, it takes commitment to do what we're doing, and time and effort, and you know, so kudos to us all for making it happen. So can we go ahead then and maybe do that now and get, like, I know I have the one here, review and Christmas event information. Should we do one right now, get a mover and a seconder to see if we can get some money for doing a scenery? Christy?
So procedurally, because you have the resolution on the table, you would close that one up, and then you would someone would propose a new
Motion.
Thanks, Ian. Move a new motion for what you want to, and then we would just type it up after.
Okay, or we could just finish this one and do it for next meeting. Which do you choose to do?
Yeah, you can do that as well. You can just close this up and then bring forward maybe more information to the next meeting of what you're thinking for the next season. So
okay, so if maybe we can kind of communicate email wise so that we can add it for the agenda for the next meeting. And that way we have more of a, of what we're looking for to send to council.
Yeah, you can wrap up your ideas and have more of a concise plan of what you think you want to add up. So yeah, you would just close up this motion by having your mover and seconder, and then move on to the next one and bring back more information.
So did anybody have anything else to add before we do the mover and the seconder?
No,
Go ahead, Ian.
yeah, no, I think it's a great idea, and that gives everybody a little bit of time to reflect on it, and see what it is that we want to do, come up with an idea, and then we can put a dollar figure to it at the next meeting, so that we can ensure that it gets put in the budget for council.
Great. Now, question, because I know dollar figure wise, if we're going to get the wood for the high school, will we need to know from the high school how much they might need first? Like, do we need to approach them first, or?
Well, we can ask them if they're interested in doing it, if we supply the materials, and then I guess it all depends on how big of a nativity scene we want to build or start with, how much wood and material we might need. Maybe we need, $2,500 worth of material. I'm not 100% sure.
Okay. Hi, Jim.
And this isn't throwing anything off of what Ian's talking about, but I see a lot of the Christmas decorations and that now are going to the LED lights that are on, and you buy the displays already lit up. I wonder if it's a thing that we should look into, just getting a price on what it costs for one of those things, because every town seems to be going that way now instead of the wood. Because I'll tell you, doing the wood, I got one display I did on my house before, and it needs to be redone again, but you can't get oil paints, so I don't know how I'm going to switch it over to the other paint. I was 45 hours painting one display, putting the different colors on it. So once you get into boards and painting and doing scenes, it's a lot of work, and it takes a lot to do it. It's fun. Yeah, I enjoy doing it, but I'm at the stage now. I'm going to look and see about getting the ones that I can just go out and set them up, because it's a lot of work the other way. And it's just a thought. I don't want to take away anything from what Ian's saying, but I'm just wondering if in our proposal we can look at doing that, checking that out.
Ian?
Yeah, I think I agree with Jim. Let's look at all the options. The one nice thing about the high school is I think there's probably some art classes and some pretty talented young teenagers that can do some pretty nice stuff. And they definitely do need their community hours. And if we run out of time, I think Jim is halfway retired. So we'll keep him busy.
And we know he's talented in that way.
Yeah.
Well, hey, even those deer, like they were kind of cute. I had fun with them. They blocked the rain, that was for sure. Anything we do though, we're gonna have to make sure that they're planted solidly, because unfortunately, we do have some teenagers that like to, kind of do not so good. But I like that idea too. So if I can get a mover and a seconder, that we can get this, the MRC receive and review the Christmas events for information. So can I get a mover? Okay, Katie, put her hand up, and Jim, do you want to second it?
Sure.
Okay, and so moved by Katie, second by Jim, that the MRCC receive review of the Christmas events for information, and everybody's agreement.
Yep.
Okay, oh, paper sticking. Okay, so that means we're moving on to C, recreational study update. Now, I did not have that information either.
And no, and I don't think there's been anything on it. It still hasn't been presented to council. That was put on because it was on our last minutes. Because I'm not sure what to do with the resolutions that are put forward and then nothing's happening with them. Do we keep putting them on as old business? Like there's that one, there's also the one on the mural, there's also one on, it was, I think it was something about the hall, about a visual tour of the hall or something. We're gonna talk to some students to see if they could do it. Do we just keep putting these on until they're handled, or we just, what?
That might be direction for Christy. Christy, do you know how to direct us with that one?
I can find out for sure from Jasmine. I guess it goes into once council approves your minutes, then like once you approve your minutes and then they get approved at council, like they're approving what's in there. So then you would move forward with the
plan?
direction that you had asked for.
Correct.
So I guess in that case, so did the one for the video, did that get to council? No, okay. So
No.
when it all gets to council, then we'll have to start making decisions definitely. To get
The mural one went to council.
Okay.
The one
so
for the mural went to council though.
have we, so we need to get into the stages of somehow finding some people so that they could how do you bid on the job, I guess, or
Well,
I thought Crystal was doing,
sorry, Christy.
here, I'll let Crystal go ahead.
Crystal.
So I was just going to say, so the way we left it is that I am going to, or was going to, but haven't yet done, look at the resource guide that we have and just pull the pieces out of it that apply to our situation. And then once I do that, then we'd have a discussion about how we want to proceed with what approach we were going to take. So what you were saying, Brandy, about do we do a call out for artists? Do we approach people, or a combination of both, or whatever it is? But I haven't done that yet. And I guess also just sort of in recognition of what Ian said earlier about kind of the turnover and things at with the staff, that it's probably not as urgent maybe for me to be doing that as it might have been as well. But while sort of on that same topic, the small halls expression of interest was to be done by the staff as well. So it would have, if it hasn't already been done, it would need to be done in the next month.
Christy.
Okay, so I can touch base with the treasurer on that, about the small halls thing. I think for the mural, like when you do bring back, you're gonna have to bring back the information of like what type of mural you are, because I believe like it would have to go to council, because we are talking about a heritage building like in Montague. So we do have to be thinking about that. And then I'm not sure if we should maybe even end up doing a survey, right? Like, you know, did the Montague residents want a mural? Like, is that something that we would have to think of for like everybody in the municipality? Like, it would be something to bring forward for some information about, like, you know, what would be best to put on it, and, you know, do people want a mural on the building as well?
Yeah, and those are all headings within the guide that I would sort of look at that and say, okay, like exactly what you said. It's a heritage building, and we talked about before about not actually painting it directly on the building, but doing it on panels. It could be changed out. I think we're probably going to go in that direction, but we could present it as a couple different options. As far as whether we did a survey or not, I guess that would be up to council, as well as whether we would get input from the community about the themes or once the themes are chosen, choosing the actual design, what the process is for that. So yeah.
I was going to suggest maybe once you get everything together that you actually do a delegation to council.
Okay.
Where you can bring a presentation before council and you get 10 minutes and then you can present your ideas and then they would be able to hear what your ideas are more formally than, just in writing. It's maybe better as a presentation.
Okay. So if
just an idea.
Yeah. So if I prepare what I'm talking about preparing, and then we discuss it as a committee and then decide from there what pieces from that will put forward to council, and then we'll do a delegation.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea because then it's visually, council gets it visually as well so that they can see what your ideas are. We've had them in the past, and then you get 10 minutes and then they can ask you questions about it. And then they have a better idea of what you're preparing to do.
Okay.
I think that's a good idea.
I agree.
Yeah, I agree. That's a very good idea. And I think that the more that the committee has it ironed down, keep the funnel or the scope relatively narrow as far as these are want to bring forward and that they've chosen. I think that makes it a lot easier, and it's a lot easier for council to take a look at it and not have to go through 5 different options or 10 different options or whatever it might be. So the more the rec committee can have it nailed down exactly what they'd like to see, I think it'll make it a lot easier flow, a lot faster flow as well for council.
Okay. So sort of similar to what you see at the committee of the whole, where they sort of say, this is our report, but our recommendation is this, or it's option A or option B, or
exactly 100%.
Okay. Yep. Okay.
I miss the days where we could actually sit in the room, and do the thing up on the screen. And hey, Maggie.
Yeah.
Someday.
Okay, well, let's hope it's not too long away from being able to get back together again. So I guess for that, I do need to close off the recreation study. So if I could get a mover and a seconder that the MRCC received the recreation study update for information, I got to close that one off. So if I could get a mover, thank you. And a seconder, please. I almost put you down. Thank you, Jessica. Okay, and we lost Jim. Can we still? We kind of went through this one already. We'll double check when he comes back.
Quorum anyway, Brandy.
What's that, hon?
You still have quorum anyway.
Okay, all right. So that moved by Maggie, second by Jessica, that the MRCC receive the recreation study update for information, and everybody's in agreement there. I'm supposed to start off anyway because I just don't like leaving a papers unsigned. So from there, I guess we can move on to items for consideration, if nobody else has anything to add from before. So first one would be discussion of CD Saturday event, and I believe Valerie has that information.
Okay, just to start this off, the wake up weather forecast for the morning is -31 degrees. With the wind chill factor, it's going to be -40. So it might be a little hard to get into the mood to discuss gardening or seeds, etc. But that's what keeps the gardeners going, knowing that it's going to get warmer. So I looked at the calendar, and the concept really for the CD Saturday or Sunday is to have like a seed swap. And I was looking at the calendar, and the first day of spring is Sunday, March the 20th. That would be my choice. However, the 26th and the 27th of March, nothing's going on, or the 2nd or 3rd of April, nothing's going on. So you move into April, then you get into Palm Sunday and Easter Sunday, etc. So the whole concept for the seed swap or seedy Sunday from the previous season would be people that gardened and they would like to participate. They would be expected to portion their seeds, identify them, put them in small containers like pill bottles are a good idea, or small envelopes, and bring them to the event and offer them to encourage other gardeners to get involved and to get the children involved too. So it's basically just a swap table. We could do it outdoors. However, with the weather, etc., it could be a little iffy. That's something that we can discuss a date. Some of the examples for seeds would be like your vegetable seeds, which are edible vegetables, or the ornamentals, and flower seeds, bulbs from perennial flowers, etc. People can bring gardening books. I have a lot of gardening books that I would be more than happy to share. And if it does take off, like I think this year we should start off really on a very small scale. But if it does take off, we can promote for next year. You can have workshops, you can invite vendors, you can have exhibitors. It can get bigger and better. So that's my suggestion. We keep it small and we advertise locally, Montague Talks, and I'm sure in the local newspapers when there's events going on. My choice would be the, what did I say, March the 20th. So that way people can get their seeds, they can get their earth and start the seeds. And then by planting day, which is usually the first couple of weeks in May, usually by May 24th, people like to put their seeds in the ground because it's warmer and the chance of frost is less. And if it's too cold, then we could consider having it inside based on of course, what the COVID numbers would allow for the gathering inside. And I guess that'll be discussed as we move on. But I also just want to add the Merrickville Library, this is their second year. They've had, it's called a seed rack, and they've got a wire rack from somewhere. And they have it at their entrance door, and you simply go in, put your seeds there, select the seeds you want, and away you go. It's a really simplified system, but I prefer a seedy Sunday or a seedy Saturday because it's more of a personal exchange and you can discuss things and, So my suggestion would be March the 20th. And if anybody else has some options, please put forth. Yeah.
Does anybody else have a date, Crystal? Oh, you're muted, hon.
I was muted that whole time. I was wondering if maybe we could combine that event with potentially the Easter event that's on the agenda. What would you think about doing that? So if you did just an Easter egg hunt for the kids, and then the activity could be they plant a sunflower seed or something, and then everyone else is there just doing their seed exchange. So, because what is the date of Easter? It's
Easter is, well, there's Palm Sunday, which is April the 10th.
Easter is April 17th.
Yeah. So
would that be too late for the seeds?
No, I don't think so, because you really don't plant anything until May. Like the ground has to be warm enough for outdoor planting. You can plant them inside in pots and stuff for sure. That could work, Crystal. That's a good idea. Absolutely. I don't know. Let's take a vote.
Jessica?
I have a lot planned already. If
Oh.
everybody's cool with what I have to say, so I think it might be too much.
Okay, so keeping it, maybe you think keeping them separated might be a better idea just because of the amount of things that we're planning?
Yeah, and it's nice to have a bunch of small events in between the bigger events too, right? So I don't know. I think it'll draw different people as well.
Okay.
Each event will draw different people.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
True, true. And there's nothing saying that we can't have, seeds there for the kid, because I like that idea, Crystal, is getting the kids involved, because that's what we've been trying to do, right? Is keep bridging that gap. I think having some earth and some little planter things for the kids to do is a good idea, because that's when we'll have, if we can do it, knowledgeable planters around that can help guide them, or and just, I think it's a good community event. So yeah, I guess if we're gonna have a lot, Jessica, going on Easter, that might be a good idea to keep them separated. Jess?
I definitely think it would be cool to have like a kids table, like a plant your own whatever. That's a really great idea. And I lost my train of thought.
Walk backwards, they say it helps. I don't know.
And how about like an ask the expert table or something?
No, there's a good idea. If we could have maybe like somebody.
But like I know myself, like I've been doing a vegetable garden, but there's some things that just haven't worked out, and it'd be cool to have somebody to ask some questions to if somebody wants to volunteer.
I'm not volunteering, but
Not necessarily the committee,
So,
but
Maggie and then Valerie. Maggie?
okay.
I'm just thinking back to last year when we had originally planned it. We were going to ask somebody from either Gemmels
Yeah.
or even Claus if he would come and attend and answer people's questions. And that was also one of the reasons why the March person, or the April person, we're going to switch to March, was going to be somebody from a gardening that has a little bit of extra expertise as to what grows where, when, how to plant them, etc. But I really like the idea of having a kids table, and maybe even getting those little, I don't know
Yeah.
what they're made of. They're like soft little planters, and getting them to put a seed in them and take them home and grow
dollar
something,
store.
whether it be a sunflower or a tomato or whatever. I think the kids would enjoy that. And we could just,
Yeah.
wouldn't be that much to get, 20 or 24 of them and just stick a seed in them and give them to the kids that come.
Yeah.
But I would like to keep it two separate events.
Yeah.
Valerie?
Just to expand on Maggie's thought, we did discuss having a professional gardener for an information night. And so this should be actually done before the CD Saturday, so people can think about it and get enthused and plan and get information. Klaus, I know when I approached him last spring, he was very enthused about the whole thing and he agreed to coming, but then COVID stepped in and we had to cancel everything. But we can ask Gemmels if the trend is going to Gemmels, that's fine. It's just I think it'd be a better idea to have a separate information night for gardeners, and then announce then that we will be having this seed exchange on CD Sunday or Saturday, and then that would also encourage people to participate and come out and do a kids table, which I think is a great idea. And you can get those little, they dissolve, you put them right in the earth, plant the seed, and then once the thing starts growing, you just take it and put it in the earth, and it's good. Yeah, good idea. So if we could decide maybe on who we could invite for our information night for the gardening, that would be a step forward for March or April, whatever is decided on. Do that tonight.
If things are open, like hopefully things will be open enough in March that maybe we could make that our first opening information night. Do you think it's possible, Christy?
Like, if everything goes the way it's supposed to, then I would say yes, but we don't control the public. We don't control people. There's lots of things that are happening here in Canada right now that we can't control what if we're going to make it into the next step, right? So we're all scheduled. We all know for the 31st things are gonna go, but who knows?
So-
I can't say for sure.
Go ahead, Valerie.
So could we, Christy, so could we tentatively plan, thinking that we're going to go forward and not necessarily commit to anything, but at least put our feelers out there, like invite either Gemmels or Klaus, make a decision tonight, and then someone can go forward from them. I would volunteer to do that if nobody else is interested. And
I
then,
absolutely think you should go forward. Like,
Okay,
I personally think that you should pick a date in March and you should have a backup date in April. I think you should plan ahead to know that, almost like a rain date in a sense, like should something
Yeah.
happen, this event will be happening 2 weeks from now in April. And I definitely think you should start making the plans, because we all want to move forward and we all want to work together and get this done. I think you should still keep making the plans,
okay.
but just be cautious that we should have a rain date.
So I think we had decided originally, if memory serves me right, that the 25th was going to be our information night or something. Was that not it? The 25th of every month?
It was the third Thursday.
Thursday,
Okay.
should be the
Thursday.
17th.
So if we go ahead and plan for the third Thursday to have our first information night, and then our rain date cancellation could be, well, it'll be indoors.
Oh, no, I mean a rain date for the CD Saturday.
For the CD
Yeah.
Saturday. Okay, so let's plan for then, if everybody's in agreement, to have our information night for that third, if everything goes well. And then for the CD Saturday, maybe you said, Maggie, the 20th for the, no, wait.
Yeah, I think Val said the 20th, which is a Sunday.
Or the
Yeah.
26th or 7th. Did you say there was nothing going on the 26th or 7th to say?
Right.
So what if we pick maybe the 26th or 27th for the first date and the rain date for April 3rd? Would that work?
Yeah, that would work.
Is everybody in agreement on that?
I only suggested the 20th of March because it is the first day of spring.
Yeah,
And it is
So,
nice because people
yeah.
are really eager beaver to.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, the 27th, Brandy, and then for a rain date, the 3rd of April would work. Yeah.
You think that's good? Somebody agree?
Do a consensus where everyone puts their hand up if they agree.
Please.
Yeah.
Maggie, no? What do you think? The 20th and then the 26th?
I think it should be the 20th.
Okay,
If we're gonna have the speaker on the 17th,
yep,
we should have the CD Sunday on the 20th
okay.
with a rain date of the 27th. I
That
like
works.
that first day of spring.
I like the first day of
Thanks.
spring too.
Okay.
So,
March, rain
That sound
date,
better
the
for
27th.
everybody?
Sure.
If I can get
Yeah.
everybody in agreement?
Yeah.
So you only want to push it 1 week?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just wondering if it's, okay.
Enough time? Yeah, I think that's enough time in between, right?
People
Well,
excited.
You should,
Sundays in a row.
Katie?
I'm wondering if you should choose a March and an April.
I'm
You have to
thinking
remember
more
that March, you got to think that there's a March break in there. And every time there's a holiday, they always
Dip off
do what they
away.
like to do. So I think having a March and an April is a much smarter choice. It gives us at least, and if you choose like the 20th of March,
Yeah.
and then you wait 2 weeks, that is
Yeah.
like a 14-day person, right? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know, just gives us that little
Yeah.
bit of coverage. When we choose the time, just take into consideration that is a Sunday. So make sure you're planning for after church hours or you will miss a ton of people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
and you don't want to hit the lunch necessarily. So what if we specified the 20th and the 3rd, 1 till 4, or is 1 till 3?
1 till 3.
Until 3.
1 till 3? Okay, so I think we've nailed that down. If, I guess we'll need to do a resolution for that, right?
You should have one there.
Okay,
You can
so
just
that's
say,
for
have
Saturday?
that one, and then you can have the other information in the minutes.
Okay. So if I could get a mover and a seconder, that the MRCC received the CD Saturday event information Can I get a mover? Jessica? And if I could get a seconder, please. Katie? So moved by Jessica, second by Katie, that the MRCC receive the CD Saturday event for information, and for the minutes, we've got March 20th and April 3rd as our rain date, 1 till 3. Is everybody in agreement?
Yeah.
I just have one comment.
Go ahead, Christine, sorry.
I'll just, so keeping that in mind, I'll just start working on some advertisements for that, just so that I can bring them forward to the February meeting.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much. Okay, so that's good. So B, discussion of Easter event, and I'll let Jessica take it away. Oh, Maggie,
All right, so
hold on there.
Sorry, can I ask a
we were-
question?
Sorry, Jess. Maggie has a quick question.
Just to go back to the CD Sunday event,
Yep.
is Valerie going to arrange for the speaker then for the Thursday? Did she say she would?
She's in the middle of something. Valerie, were you able to arrange the speaker? Would you like to do that, or we're just so that we know who's doing what?
No,
17th?
I would volunteer to arrange a speaker for the 17th. However, I do want to find out which way we're leaning, towards Gemmels or to Klaus. Although I did speak to Klaus, like I said, for last year, and he was all gung-ho, so I vote for Klaus, but whatever the rest of the group feels.
Okay, so I guess to make it evil, and we love both, just so that everybody knows out there, you know, both local. So if I could have a show of hands for Claus.
Mhm.
Okay, and a show of hands for Gemmels.
I was just gonna say, could you not have both?
I don't know if there would be a conflict of interest there. I don't know that for sure. I don't know. Can anybody speak on that?
Well, if there was a trade show, there would be multiple businesses of the same thing at a trade show.
Yeah.
So
Close.
if it's just
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
It's okay.
I'm just thinking Klaus doesn't do public wholesale or public sale anymore. He does mostly wholesale. And I'm sure he would just be stepping up for information, not necessarily to sell. Whereas Gemmels, I think, would be interested in the sales portion of it. That's just my personal feeling. So if people want to discuss it, fine.
I don't know if we should be discussing it.
Over the
I know,
yard.
yeah.
Good point.
So what's the general trend?
I think we'll move forward and we'll let you go ahead and
You take care of it.
Okay,
we'll let
fine.
you worry about it.
I like that. Okay.
We'll put it
Thank
in
you.
your hands, Val.
I like that.
We're in good
Thank you.
hands.
All right.
Take the wheel. Okay, so back to the Easter event. Sorry, Jessica, and if you could please go
That's
ahead.
okay. Okay, so we were thinking of doing like a pancake breakfast event at the hall on Saturday, April 16th. Possibly pancakes, beans, sausages, some local syrup, coffee, tea, juice, etc. Now we would have to figure out a time. Do we want like 9 to 11 or 10 to 12? Any thoughts on that?
I like the idea of pancake breakfast. I miss doing it ever since we did the when we were a part of when the council did it. Katie?
Because I have lots of early risers at my house, I would say the 9, only for the fact that so many little people eat early, and that's just my thought.
Okay.
That is true.
And do we want to do we want to cover the costs, or do we want to charge a small fee of like $5 a person?
Maggie?
I'm just thinking, council used to do a pancake breakfast for Christmas, and they haven't been able to do it for 2 years. I wonder if they would be interested in doing the breakfast. And they take the cost, they do the work. They just do it the same day.
Who was that, Maggie?
Council used to do a
Oh,
Christmas
okay.
pancake
Christmas one.
breakfast.
But
Yeah,
they
breakfast
have-
with Santa.
I like
Breakfast with
that
Santa.
idea.
Well, this could be breakfast with the Easter Bunny.
I like the idea of sending it to council and giving them the option. I don't know if Ian will agree. But it lets them, I mean, considering that the next election's coming up, it just lets them have their, your last moment of, to end your term or getting close to ending term, right? I don't know. I think it's a good suggestion. Ian, do you have any thoughts, or Christy? Sorry, Christy.
Oh, I just was going to say, it could be a really nice event to have council and the committee all working together.
Yeah.
And, okay, so I
But I
love.
think there was a charge.
Awesome.
I think
There
council
was a
did
charge.
$5 or
Yeah, I think it
I
was.
forget.
Yeah, I think it was $5 and $2 for little ones or
little
something.
ones. And I
It might
think we had a family price as well, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Totally like that idea. So
Okay.
Go ahead, Jess.
So then I was also thinking of doing an Easter egg hunt. We would get the little plastic eggs. I think somebody said we had some at the hall already. And we could put them around the park and surrounding area, and then they have to find one and bring it back to us, and they get a bag of treats.
Good
Okay.
idea.
I was also thinking, so a craft table with like coloring pages and an organized craft inside. And then the possibility, I don't know how it works with COVID and everything, but a small petting zoo.
Mm.
Ooh.
I like the idea. That's really going big with a bang.
So I don't know if there's like I looked up Sweet Haven Farm and Countryside Petting Farm. They're kind of local. I have no idea their status during COVID. Katie?
Sweet Haven Farm was at Ian's tree farm this
Yes.
winter, right straight during COVID. So,
Okay.
and they
Yeah, the
are just
bunnies.
on, they're just on Pumali, like the first side of Pumali Road. So they're
Yeah.
not far, and they're pretty awesome. So,
Mhm.
Okay. So we would have to
Good idea.
investigate how much they cost. Okay.
Whatever
Do we
we
need-
were going to spend on breakfast, we can spend on a petting zoo.
Okay. The other thing I was thinking of that might be kind of cool is finding a local photographer and asking them if they want to set up like a little space for a mini photo session. They would take care of the details themselves, so they would bring their little backdrop setup they want to do, and they can figure out. They can charge people and figure out like if they want to do like 3 edits and stuff, and they can take all the contact information. I just thought it'd be kind of nice to give a photographer an opportunity, as well as the families an opportunity to get some pictures done.
I like
I
that.
like that idea.
I like that
Okay,
idea
do-
too.
Is there
Does
any way
anybody
to
know
make
of
it
any
costume?
local photographers?
I know of one. Do we have to tender that, Christy, or no?
I would have to check on that just to see if they'd be coming for themselves, right? But I can check with Jasmine this
Okay.
week and just get a quick answer for us right
Okay.
away, so I can check with Jasmine.
Because I do know of 1 or 2. It's just a question of whether we have to tender it. If not, I do know of a couple. I just asked whether they're available for that August weekend. Are we able to get a bunny costume? Just a question. I don't know where you get costumes or something, but it'd be really.
Amazon.
Oh, do you think we get a bunny one?
Probably.
We'll have to look into that.
Let's get a price. What's Vince doing?
Seeing as he does so well. And no, I'm not being Mrs. Bunny Rabbit.
No, it should be Jeff. He's tall. The
Good
Easter Bunny's
point.
tall.
And I think he can jump really well. Vince can't jump very good right now.
He's not here, so we'll let him know that Jeff's got a job.
Put him to work already.
Katie
Happy
has her hand up.
birthday!
Oh, Sir Kitty.
it's okay, it's fine. On the photographer thing, I think that instead of discussing here, we should do a email thread and maybe just do like, find the photographer that you want to give info and have like contact information. So then Jessica, if she wants to, or when we know how it has to go, we have a list of, a couple photographers that we can reach out to and see what their idea would be to do for us. And then as for the bunny, we did have a bunny one year. Bill was a bunny one year. So I don't know do we have a costume still?
I don't know.
I
I
have
can
a
check.
picture of my kids with him. So we did have so I don't know if it was rented or if it was ours or what, but there was a bunny costume. So
Ask Bill.
yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna have to ask Bill, or we'll have to find out. If
Oh,
not, we'll have to definitely work. We've got a couple of months or whatever to work on getting a costume. If not, so. And if Jeff or Bill doesn't want to do, we can always stick Ian in there. Sorry, Ian. Off the look right now.
Thought we were friends, Brandy. I thought we were friends.
It's all good. But
Hey, what about those high school students that need those 40 hours, Ian? They're tall.
about?
Exactly,
Okay.
Kate. Thank you.
You're welcome. I got your back.
There is a lot of 6-footers in high school, let me tell you. Okay, I love that. Jessica, did you have anything else you would like to add to? Because that's just amazing what you put together.
Well, thank you. No, I don't have anything else to add, other than I just need to know at what point do I start contacting people, and
Okay,
I guess, do we have a budget?
that has to go to council, doesn't it?
Okay.
Yeah.
And then at what point can I start contacting people?
No.
Yeah. Crystal first. Sorry. I should Chrissy first and then Crystal, please.
I was just gonna say, I think you can start like the preliminary contacts and compile like your information to bring back. And then even if you want to start an email chain, or you can reach out to me and I can help you like sort it through or anything like that. And we can start getting like the pricing so that we kind of have an idea of what we're focusing on. I still think we need to make the decision of whether or not council is going to participate and make it a breakfast with the Easter Bunny from council and committee. So I think that's a big one. So I'm just trying to think if, this would be an opportunity to take something even as early as just like a write-up of what you're thinking of doing and putting it to the agenda maybe for the 15th of February. So you have some more information that council can pull it from the information items to discuss it. Just like they did with changing the time for this. I think that would be a good idea. So it would give you, a couple weeks to get the information together. We don't have to commit to anything, but making sure we know what it might cost and that we can get council on board to participate.
Okay. Crystal, then Maggie, then Ian. Crystal?
Yeah, I was just gonna suggest that we use something like Eventbrite or something ahead of time, just to get a sense of how many people would be attending, just to make sure it's a viable event at that scope.
Chrissy?
Sorry, it just,
That's
when we
okay.
did Breakfast with Santa, so when Breakfast with Santa happened, people had to register before coming. So they actually had to email the office and confirm, make a reservation, not like for that time, but to commit themselves. Will be 4 people coming. So we just did it by email before. So again, if you want to set it up a different way, like with that Eventbrite, you'll just have to let us know so that the township can make an account and that. So if that's the way we want to count it and have things run through that, it's all in how, if we're charging for things, how much it's going to be. Are we just looking for number counts? So we'll have to make those decisions soon.
Okay. Maggie, and then Ian.
I was just going to say, as far as the cost goes, if council does the breakfast, the egg hunt, there's a whole box of Easter eggs up in the top of the building. The petting zoo, I have no idea what they're going to charge to come. The craft table, there's lots of crafts left from Christmas. They could be still used for Easter. The coloring's a little different, but what the hang. And the photographer. So we're only looking at really the petting zoo and the photographer as far as an
I
expense.
wasn't even thinking about us paying the photographer. I was thinking about them coming and charging, like they're not donating their time, they're charging the people themselves.
Right. So
So
really, our only
all we're doing is facilitating an opportunity for them to come and do photo sessions with people.
right.
And the prizes, I guess, you know, like, I don't know, but maybe approaching the garden market for chocolate bunnies. You know, because he could probably get a good deal, and that could be their prize when they find it, and get a nice peanut-free, hopefully, chocolate bunny. That way, you know, we make sure that we're covering, you know, the algae ones.
We could always just get chocolate eggs, and they bring the plastic egg in exchange for a chocolate egg.
True.
So if they find 3 eggs, they get 3
You
eggs.
mean you don't mean the hollow one, do you? The one that breaks?
No, those are the cream in the middle.
Oh,
yeah, those big ones like this, yeah. We'll give that to one that
sometimes
finds
you
the
can get
most
them for
people.
99 cents. I know over the years, but not always. Ian, you had your hand up before, Ian.
Yeah, I think I kind of agree with what Chrissy was saying there. I think that we should definitely put on the meeting minutes and get council's commitment for the breakfast portion of it. And then if Jessica wants to work ahead way at getting the costs associated with everything else, so they can present it to council, I think that's the most expedient way to get it going. But I like the ideas, and let's keep on rolling.
Okay, I think this is awesome. Okay, so if we could, I guess this will go into the minutes, that we'll have the direction to go to council, whether they would like to host the Easter breakfast from 9, what do we say, 9 till 11, 9 till 12? 9 to 11?
Sure.
What do you make? Well, that'll go to them, they can make that decision. And then from there, yeah, that sounds great. So if I could get a mover and a seconder, please. Katie for the mover. Seconder. Okay, Crystal. So moved by Katie, second by Crystal, that the MRCC receive the Easter event report for information, and we're sending it to council for more. Can I have everybody in agreement?
Did we pick a date for this?
Saturday, April 16th.
Yeah.
So it's the Easter weekend, but on the Saturday.
Okay.
Valerie?
We didn't, Katie suggested 9 a.m. start, but I don't think we extended it to what time do we want to end it. So do we want to give a time to end it? 9 a.m. start?
11:30.
Okay,
Sounds like a reasonable time.
okay, thank you.
Everybody in agreement, 11:30, sound good? Yep, okay.
Yep.
Alrighty, so everybody was in agreement. I saw the hands. We'll sign this and definitely get the direction from council for the breakfast. And I think it'd be great for all of us to gather together and have hopefully a good flash bang. Okay, next discussion of Canada Day event. And Maggie, what are we gonna pull off this year?
We're gonna have it at Rosedale.
Yay!
I hope. I just wanted people to think about what they might want to do. Some of the things that we had recommended for last year, which we couldn't do, of course, was having some entertainment at the hall, having a barbecue put on by the firemen, hot dogs, hamburgers type thing, possibly a dance, possibly having some kind of entertainment in the afternoon with the bar open at night. I just wanted ideas coming up for Canada Day so we could plan it ahead.
I like
So
that
people
idea.
think of what you want, and hopefully we can do it at Rosedale this year. Canada Day is on a Friday. It'll be a holiday, so it'll be a good day because it's a weekend.
Ian?
Yeah, I think we should have a shaker.
A what?
Sorry?
Sorry?
A shaker. We
Ian
need
wants
have
to party.
100%.
Yeah, we're long overdue for a party in Montague. I totally agree. And I do have an idea, and I don't know what you guys think, but I know over the last, I'd say year or maybe two, and I don't know if it's because of COVID that has brought some, kind of people being angry every so often. But I know that there's been an issue with fireworks and animals, and we have a lot of farms in Montague
Yeah.
that have horses and certain animals that unfortunately they don't like fireworks.
I don't want to do
So I was
fireworks.
thinking that, and maybe Ian can take this to the fire department just to approach them. But if we do a Canada Day event, it might be nice to, because the fire guys are obviously going to want to be there for the shebang too. But maybe we could, if the community wants to set off the fireworks, maybe have a designated area where they could bring said fireworks and set them off so that everybody in the community knows what's going on. They're prepared for it. Hopefully everybody will fire them off on that time and not, randomly for maybe a couple of weeks. I don't know if that's a possibility. I just know that it's kind of nice when you have like a nice display of fireworks. Just my thought. Valerie?
It's not good for animals, but it's also not good for the environment. And I'm sorry to be a party pooper, but it's a reality. And take a look around the world. And Merrickville, again, I bring Merrickville into the picture because they actually did a survey of all the citizens that wanted to participate about what they thought about festivals, fireworks, and celebratory fireworks. I don't know what the outcome is. I think it's still ongoing, but that might be something else that we might want to consider. I, for one, am not for fireworks, but that's because I'm a tree hugger. So, that's why.
Okay, Jessica and then Maggie.
So I missed a fraction of that. I'm assuming you were talking about doing fireworks at the hall.
If we
Yeah.
could.
Yeah.
I know that
farm right behind.
the woman who lives right behind the hall will not be happy about that. She
Okay, that's
has
why I
about
wasn't-
4 horses and she won't be pleased.
Okay. Well, and that's why, I thought that if it was a designated, time that they were going to be done rather than randomly, because I know those that are on Montague Talks page have seen the way some of them can get very angry, and I totally understand because it can go on for almost a month. A week later you'll hear fireworks going off, and then another week later you'll hear fireworks going off. So it was just to try to prevent the constant, with nobody knowing that it's going to happen, whereas people would be aware of said date, said time, and that would be the time to set them off. That was just the idea, or my intentions, is to avoid issues, so that way, people would know and be aware of it. Trying to help keep the peace in the township. Maggie?
I'm not a big fireworks person either. Can anybody think of an alternative than fireworks? Some kind of
Sparklers?
light show or
Sparklers?
I'm not a fan
think
of
about it
sparklers,
for next
but
meeting? What's that?
I said I don't like sparklers. I got burned as a kid.
I always get burned.
I
I
love
don't know what it
sparklers.
is. They hand you
Oh.
the sparkler and you sing your hand. Yeah, I get it. Jessica?
I think the idea of just a barbecue and a gathering and some live music, and I don't know about the idea of possibly like a bonfire. I don't know how that would
bonfire's
work,
an idea.
but I think that would be good enough for a lot of people.
That'd be a
Yeah.
good idea. Can we
Yeah.
do a
They want
bonfire?
fireworks, they can go to Smith Falls, to be honest.
Could we do a bonfire
You
right
think
in
a
front of the hall?
bonfire.
That'd be kind of neat.
I don't know if you can do a bonfire. That's probably liability wise, probably a bad
Yeah,
scenario.
You don't have a burn permit.
Yeah, we can't get a permit.
Yeah, that we'll just leave that at that. A good idea. Jim, you had your hand up, hon, and you're on mute. Oh, you're muted.
Is that
There we
better?
go.
Oh. Now I lost my train of thought. Who else had that problem?
Walk backwards.
Walk backwards.
Correct. I forget what I was going to say now. Son of a
Okay,
gun.
it'll come back to you when you.
Oh, well, I'll get muted again.
It was because your phone was ringing.
Oh, yes, I had to go to that. I don't usually have that happen.
Maggie?
That was the old fire chief. But
I still do want to try and have the dunk tank.
I love
Dunk
dunk tank.
Oh yeah, I've got people I want up in that dunk tank. I will throw balls for 3 hours to knock them down. Katie, you're not one of them. Quit laughing.
Small, $5 small.
I don't think we can charge. What we were talking about this last year, and we needed some kind of license.
If the fire department's involved, I don't think we do we, Ian?
I don't know. That's a good question. I'm not 100% sure with that, Brandy.
Okay.
For what part?
Like if we
to
were to have a
charge.
dunk tank and charge like say $2 for like 1 ball, $5 for 3 balls, like do we need a license for that?
I
I
don't,
thought
I'm-
last year we were told
I
we
don't, I
needed
can
a
check with
lottery license.
Jasmine before the end of the week here, but like I know the fire department holds the liquor license for the like the fire association holds the liquor license for the bar.
Last year we were told we need a lottery license to sell tickets.
And
we were
Oh, a
also
lottery
talking about-
license.
Bill Barber, I think, would have
Yes,
that.
we also talked
That's
about.
yeah, that's a
50-50
whole different
draw.
thing.
And if we charge for, we had a dunk tank, we had the kids' big slide thing, and we had some indoor games. One was hit a golf thing against something, and we were going to charge for them. We were told we couldn't do that because we need a lottery license.
how about
I'll-
we, instead of charging, we just say make a donation.
oh, you might be able to do that.
Yeah, yeah.
That's when the big dollars could just start flying in, depending on who's up there.
I'll double
Exactly.
check with Jasmine though.
Okay, thank
It's a
you.
nomination year, right, for new council?
Yeah.
We'll nominate people to put up there and knock down.
I'll just volunteer. I don't mind. I don't mind going up there. No,
Oh, no, you got wet enough at Christmas. We're not going to
Yeah.
ask you to do that.
It's all good. It's all good. It'll be hot, so I know I'm gonna need it. Okay.
And we also talked about having local talent come in and do what they used to call that star something. They would go on stage for half an hour, 20 minutes and just entertain people. It was all local people, whether they be playing an instrument or singing or
Open
something
mic.
like that. We were talking about that last time too. We were talking about getting a band in the evening. I don't know
Open
about doing
mic.
the supper.
Yeah.
Too bad we couldn't get some karaoke going. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
No,
Oh
no.
yeah.
Open mic, open mic. Yeah.
As long as there's a bar, we'll have karaoke. People get very brave with an open bar.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah. Anyway, think about Canada Day for 2 meetings from now.
Okay.
Alrighty. Does anybody else have anything to add before we close Canada Day part? Okay. So, how did I end up with that? Okay, so moved by Jessica, second by Maggie. I don't know how I got lucky that was already in there, but it must have been a pre-discussion thing. That the MRCC received the Canada Day event report for information. All in agreement? Good job. Okay. Now for the last unfinished business or any other business. Does anybody have anything to bring to the table? Maggie.
I would like to just make a quick mention and comment. This is our first meeting since November, and last month Norma Ford passed away. Norma was a huge supporter of this committee. She listened to every meeting. She gave us advice. if we were doing something, she would be the first person to email all of us or any of us or some of us and volunteer to help. She helped so much on Canada Day doing printing and distributing flags for us. And Montague Township Talks has been so quiet since she passed. Honest to God, it's a boring site now. We need somebody to get on it. But I just wanted to mention Norma and let everyone know that she will be missed.
And if I could add to that, yes, the page is definitely a lot quieter. She was a great person, and she was one of those faithful people. Ian can, you know, she was always there, sitting in the row. That's how we actually met. She's a cousin of mine. I don't know if any of you knew that. She is a cousin of mine, a long lost cousin. And we met through going to council. I met her when I started going to council just before this term. And yeah, she was such a big part of Montague Township, and she will be greatly missed. On that note, is there any other business that anybody would like to, and our condolences to the family, by the way, to all the family. Just know how much she brought to the township, and I know everybody has commented on the township on that. She brought a lot. She brought a lot to the page. She kept us all up to date, informed, in the know. If we had a question that we weren't sure of, like, she was great for information. And she volunteered a lot behind the scenes where, you know, she age-wise just felt she couldn't do things, and yeah, she will be greatly missed. Thanks, Maggie, for bringing that up.
I'm sure
Any
there's
other
some
business
people
for
breathing
tonight?
a sigh of relief.
Yeah. Any other business for tonight?
Yeah.
Okay. Alrighty, if I could get, oh wait, we got to get a mover and a seconder that the Recreation Committee confirm all the directions. So if I could get a mover. Jim, oh wait, pen somehow shut off again. And a seconder. Nobody wants to leave tonight. Oh, Maggie. All right, so moved by Jim, second by Maggie, that the Recreation Committee confirm all of the direction as agreed at the meeting of January 25th, 2022, and forward that direction to council for final approval. All carried? Okay, good, okay.
Yep.
I know what it is. As I'm signing my squiggles, my pen, it's one of those turny pens. As I'm signing it, going down. I know. Alrighty, so if I could get a mover and a seconder so that we can adjourn this lovely meeting.
When's our next meeting, please?
Oh, yes. Next meeting, February 22nd. Is that right? February 22nd, 2022?
Oh, cool. 2/2/2/2022.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's a lot of twos.
yeah.
That's kind of funky. Alrighty, so if I could get a mover, please. Okay, Katie. I put my head down. Who is the seconder? Okay, Jessica. Alrighty, moved by Katie, second by Jessica, that this meeting does now adjourn January 25th, 2022 at 8:21 p.m. and until February 22nd, 2022 at 7 p.m. All in agreement?
Yeah.
Alrighty. Well, everybody, it's 8:21. Have a lovely evening, and we will see you on